Hi, my name is Bernice Oriano. I'm from Central Oahu Physical Therapy Specialist, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about static standing posture. Now, it's not the most dynamic topic. You know, you're not gonna burn a lot of calories or get your steps in practicing your posture. That being said, posture is probably one of the most important concepts in physical health. The reason being, it precedes movement. So if we can attain and sustain a decent or neutral standing and or sitting posture, it potentiates good movement. And vice versa. If we have poor posture, what happens is we kind of set ourselves up for poor movement. So before we can get even into any type of exercise, squats, lunges, all those fun stuff, we have to make sure that our beginning position is first set in. Again, there's not much visually going on here. A lot of it is going to be feel. So we're going to start from the ground up. So what I want you to do is stand with your feet shoulder width apart. And just notice where your weight is centered, so to speak. It shouldn't be too far on your heels, and it shouldn't be all the way on the balls of your feet. Ideally, you want that center of gravity right in front of your shins. If you're wearing shoes, it's right where the shoelaces would be. So yet again, to get there, you just kind of rock forward and back. And you slowly kind of decrease that motion right in the middle of between the two extremes to find that middle. Again, also take note of where your weight is. Is it more to the right or to the left? A lot of us have sustained old injuries, you know, ankle injuries, knee injuries, low back injuries, and you may find yourself favoring one side or the other. So kind of just be intrinsically aware of where that weight is mostly favored and try to keep that at least 50-50 as best as you can. Moving up the chain to the knees. At our knees, not too much there. You just want to make sure your knees are not fully extended. You don't want to lean on the bony structures and the ligamentous structures. You want a slight bend in the knees so that our muscles can help create that stability there through the knees. Moving up to the hips and the pelvic region, in order to find what we call our neutral lumbar spine, what you're going to do is you can put your hands kind of right on your hips here, and you're going to kind of stick your butt all the way out, and then you're going to try to tuck your tail in. Those are the two extremes of flexion, lumbar flexion, and lumbar extension. And what you're going to do is slowly rock between the two, and again, slowly decreasing the motion, where at some point in time, you're going to kind of find that middle ground between full extension at the lumbar side and full flexion. So you're going to just kind of rock back and forth there. Good. Now as you go up the chain into the shoulders, what we want to try to work on is keeping our shoulders down and back. A visual that I like to use is you just imagine you have a piece of string on the tip of your shoulder blade here, and it attaches down to the top of your hips on each shoulder blade. And what you want to do is create tension in that string. You want to pull that string down towards the hip bone or the hips. And so what that does is create kind of this downward and a little bit of a retracted motion at your shoulders. Again, it's not fully pulling it back and you're not fully dropping it. You know, it's just a slight tug, slight tension on the strings to kind of keep you in that nice neutral posture. And last but least, you want to look at your neck and head position. From here, once I pull my shoulders down and back, I'm already in a stacked position. You know, my head is over my shoulders, and all I have to do is just do a little bit of a chin tuck. We call it sometimes double chin. I know women don't really care for that term, but that's all it is, just a little bit of a double chin. And you can see how my head is stacked right over my shoulders versus here, right? So again, I'm pulling my shoulders a little down and back, tugging on those strings, and from here, just a little bit of chin nod. Yeah. So this can be practiced at any place and any time. When we're in the morning, brushing our teeth, washing dishes, standing in line at the store, watching your kids' games. These are all ideal times to practice, so you don't have to set aside specific times. Again, we find ourselves standing a lot as well as sitting, which we'll go into future videos. But again, static posture is where it starts at. That's where it begins. Before we can even get into movement, we need to have a good solid foundation, a good starting position so that we can give ourselves the best chance at great movement. More to come. Stay tuned.